Yeah, Shalom Israel. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding Gen.YAHANNA. We've been teaching the truth about the Bible since 1969, that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. All right. Tonight is the Sunday night scripture breakdown class. All right. Before we get into the class, right, I will just go over the schedules of the class during the week, locally here in Trinidad and Tobago, right? So, as I said, tonight is the scripture breakdown class. This class is usually done by Priest and Officer Galawan. I am Priest and Officer Maikwa. I'll be holding on for him until he arrives at class tonight. All right. On a Monday, we have the Monday night history class, which is done by Priest and Officer Makar Kobal. On a Tuesday, we have the Brotherhood class, which is done by Priest and Officer Sowa Piala. On a Wednesday, we have the law class, which is done by Priest and Officer Matt Kwayak. On a Thursday, we do not have any classes locally here in Trinidad, but from time to time, we stream the classes straight out of Harlem, New York with Phil Shield, General Mahaiman. On a Friday, we have the Lashon Kodash, which is the Hebrew class, right? The holy tongue, the native tongue of the nation of Israel, the native tongue of the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, right? This Hebrew class is on a Friday with Priest and Officer Yakad. On a Saturday, right, is the Sabbath service, right? This service is usually done by Priest and Officer Yakar and Priest and Officer Sowapiala, right? And from time to time, you may see other brothers conducting the service as well, right? All these classes run all through the week from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., right? With the exception of the Sabbath service. The Sabbath service runs from 10 a.m. till 12 noon. All right, so these are the classes locally here in Trinidad, so you can tune in on all the I.S.U.P.K Trinidad and Tobago platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even on the TikTok platform as well. All right, and so you can tune in to keep updated with the local classes in Trinidad and Tobago, and also have the ISUPK.com website, which is the official website of the school. All right, where you'll be able to tune in and get even the international events that is going around in all the different I.S.U.P.K schools all around the world, and even in the I.S.U.P.K headquarters, right, with Commanding Gen.YAHANNA, who is the leader of the nation of Israel at this time. All right, so we're going to get pretty much straight into the class. All right, so we'll go touch a bit on, all right, and I know our camp leader, Officer Galawan, will touch on it a bit more today as well. All right, we will touch a bit on the Mother's Day, right? Seeing that this is the pagan holiday that is celebrated at this time. All right. So the first scripture I give me John chapter 8 and verse 32. We will start there and then we'll go into the article.
John chapter 8 and verse 32.
Yeah. Come on. All right, and we're gonna start off here because a lot of things that we think is true, right, that we have grown up knowing and celebrating and keeping these different holidays, all right, we do not know where these holidays came from.
Right.
We have no idea,
Right.
but we are accustomed seeing our grandparents and great-grandparents and even our parents celebrating these holidays, right? So we continue to celebrate it, not knowing that these holidays were never supposed to be celebrated in the first place, right? And also that we did not know the origin of these holidays because nobody seemed to question it, right? Or to ask where these holidays derive from. Everybody just continuing the tradition, all right? Seeing that it was our tradition of the world, everybody continuing it, not asking where these holidays came from. All right, so we are going to get a little bit into that history, And I know when the officer arrives, Officer Galawan, he will cover it a bit more in depth, right? So you'll give me the first scripture about Pastor.
Book of John, chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Right? So the scripture says you shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Right? And tonight we're gonna examine the truth about Mother's Day. Right? What Mother's Day is really about. Right? Its origins, where it come from, right? And why we should not celebrate this holiday, right? Why the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man was never supposed to celebrate this holiday and never used to celebrate this holiday in the first place, right? All these pagan holidays started a long time ago, but the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, and even at that time, never used to partake in these pagan holidays, right? Only because we did what? Integrated with these other nations, integrated with the Chinese and the Caucasian man, the white man, the East Indian man. We begin to pick up cultures of other nations, but the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, this was not his culture, right? He never derived celebrating Mother's Day and things like Easter and Christmas and Halloween and all these different pagan holidays, right? Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, this is not his holiday. This is not his high holy day. All right, the scripture gave us high holy days. The Most High gave us high holy days to keep, and this is what is our culture. This is what we practice, right? Celebrating the Most High's high holy days and feast days, right? So we're gonna get a little bit into the first article, talking a little bit about Mother's Day, and we're gonna investigate a little bit of the history, right, on what Mother's Day is all about.
Right.
You can read from the top. You can read the top from Mother's Day.
Yeah. Mother's Day. Mother's Day is a celebration honoring the mother of the family or individual, as well as motherhood, maternal bonds, and the influence of mothers in society.
Right. So this whole day was derived to celebrate the mother, to celebrate the woman who gave birth, right? Go ahead.
It is celebrated on various days in many parts of the world, most commonly in the months of March or May.
Right, so it most commonly celebrated in the months of March and May, based on the country you live in, right? But the holiday is basically the same practice everywhere, right? And as we go along, we're going to understand where this day derived from, right? Continue.
It complements similar celebrations honoring family members, such as Father's Day, Siblings Day, and Grandparents' Day.
Right, and these other days now derived because they started to celebrate Mother's Day, so everybody in turn wanted their own day. All right, continue.
While some countries have a multi-century history of a day to celebrate mothers, the modern American version of holiday began in the United States.
Right. So they said this modern version of Mother's Day began in the United States. All right. So which means it had an older version. All right. But the United States now, when the spring this new or what I call it, this modern Mother's Day, a lot of people think it was new, but it wasn't new. It was something that they did derive from an old tradition. All right, from an old custom, right? And this custom came straight out of the Romans and the Greeks. All right, and if you know a little bit of history, right, they will know that the entire American empire, right, or what the Bible called Babylon the Great, is based on the Greco-Roman Empire. Right? Continue.
At the initiative of Anna Jarvis in the early 20th century.
Right. So it's still at the initiative of Anna Jarvis. So Anna Jarvis, right, is the person who at that time championed the cause to celebrate this Mother's Day right? This modern version of Mother's Day, as they call it, right? Continue.
In the early 20th century, who organized the first Mother's Day service of worship and celebration at Andrews Methodist Episcopal Church in Grafton.
Right. So she started to champion the cause for this first modern Mother's Day, right? And when she held the first one, it was a service, it was a church service, right? And it was held by what's the name of the church again? The St. Andrews Methodist Episcopal Church, right? So this modern version, right? Immediately, this service was held in a Christian church, right? So this was based on Christianity, right? That they started to develop this to continue this celebration of Mother's Day, although it was an old tradition, right? Anna Jarvis now started to champion this cause, and when we go down, we will understand why she started to champion the cause, right? So continue.
Which serves as the International Mother's Day Shrine today.
Right, and the church where they kept the service, right, which is the Angelical Methodist Church, which is a Christian church, and I can show way back the Methodist Church go, right? I think even they will show when the church started as well, right, to show you that this came out of the Christian religion, all right? This was the back end behind this day, right? And they make the church that they kept the service a shrine, right? That is the next word for Saint Paul's God, basically, right? So they make that place become sacred to Mother's Day, right? So everybody who wanted to know when Mother's Day started, this place became a shrine under this day, right? Continue.
Right. It is not directly related to the many traditional celebrations of mothers and motherhood.
Right. So continue.
That have existed throughout the world over thousands of years.
Right, and they say now that the modern Mother's Day it's not the same thing as when they used to celebrate thousands of years ago. So they're trying to now put a distinguishing factor between Mother's Day now and in the old. And the reason why that's happening because they know the one of old was a pagan Greek holiday, right? So now they're trying to make a separation, right? So these Christianity talking in on word.
Such as the Greek cult Cybele, the mother deity Rhea,
right? The
Roman festival of Hilaria.
That's right. So that they know that the older version of Mother's Day came from a Greek cult. So that they show that. So because they show that now, they try to make a distinction now to make this Mother's Day feel different from the previous Mother's Day, but not knowing it's the same thing as celebrating, right? Continue.
Or the other Christian ecclesiastical Mothering Sunday celebration.
Right, and it also had a day they used to call and this was a old Roman and Greek holiday called Mothering Sunday. Also used to celebrate the woman and giving childbirth, right? So that they're trying to now distinguish this day from having it as this Mothering Sunday and making it a new modern version, right? Continue.
Associated with the image of Mother Church. However, in some countries, Mother's Day is still synonymous with these older traditions. The American version of Mother's Day has been criticized for having become too commercialized.
Right, so they started criticize the modern day the modern day Mother's Day because they say it become too commercialized, because it just become about selling things, right? Because they know everybody is going to buy some kind of thing for the mother, right? They never see a mother in years. They never went by she, never talked to she whole year, and all of a sudden she becomes the best thing on the earth, and they want to carry something for she, right? Although you never, some people cuss out the mother for the whole year, you understand? But on this day, she become holy and sanctified, you understand? And they're looking now to go and drop something for your mother who you never checked in the last 50 years. They never even go and drop some food for she for the whole year, right? So the holiday started to become commercialized, and even business people now start to capitalize on Mother's Day because they know that time everybody going to spend, and they're buying TV for your mother, bed, whatever she wants, necklace, jewelry. They know that the holiday become commercialized. So all the business people now wait and pray, right, on all the men and women and children now to go to their stores to buy things for Mother's Day, right? I want to jump to the next article. You want to talk about the shrine. Jump to the next article.
Shrine is there.
Right. International Mother's Day Shrine. Andrews Methodist Episcopal Church, the Mother Church of Mother's Day, was incorporated as the International Mother's Day Shrine on May 15, 1962,
right,
as a shrine to all mothers.
Right. So that happened in 1962, right? But the Mother's Day celebration, right? I believe it was 1904, right, is when they kept the service, right? But the church became this shrine in 1962, right? After Anna Jarvis kept the service way back in 1904, right? Continue.
The church is located along Main Street in downtown Grafton.
If you want to switch over there, I know problem. Yeah. All right. We will pass the class over to our priest and complete of the Galawan.
Yes, Mother's Day, man. Right? Most time Christ said that everything get cancelled this year for Mother's Day because of the coronavirus. Right? Everything got cancelled. Because of this coronavirus, most people the happy Mother's Day wish. Celebrated, they can't, they might try, but they can't celebrate it as hard as they want to. Right? When you're in Trinidad, guy, you put on lock off everything by 8 o'clock, everything lock off. Right? Only food items they could sell. They can't sell flowers and things. If they're selling any flowers, they're charged. Only food items they say and medication. Right? Nothing else could be sold. So, give me Amos or fine. Amos Street. Meanwhile, Amos, I want to talk about the Lord will not smell at your the Lord hears the holidays. Amos 5 and 21.
Good. The book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 21. I despise your feast days.
Right, so the Lord saying he despises our feast days. When you say our feast days, you mean the days are the heathens and them set to celebrate. Yes, and all those days heathens set to celebrate. The Lord said, I hate it. He won't go smile at those days. He won't go smile at Christmas. He won't smile at Father's Day. He won't smile at Mother's Day. Yes, and he won't smile at New Year's. And the Lord says he hates it. So Mother's Day, the Lord hates Mother's Day. Mother's Day is a day that we should not celebrate because the Lord says to don't celebrate it, and he hates it. All right, and where down?
And I will not smell your solemn assemblies.
Right, and you'll not smell at the solemn assemblies. Right, so wherever we cooking, wherever meal we have, you know, we busting our pot, wherever it is, or wherever it is. You know, say now, he ain't gonna be there. When we celebrating those days, we're having a meal. You understand? The Lord said to have certain days in the Bible, the Lord said to celebrate. And those days is the days you have to have a nice big pot, a nice big meal. Make it smell good. And put salt, seasoning. But Mother's Day is not one of those days. So Mother's Day is one of the days that the Lord hates. Right? Remember 1 John 3 and 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. Right? If you think about it, mothers should be locked up on Mother's Day. Right? All the evilness that are done to the black man, mothers should be locked up on Mother's Day. That's what should be happening. Right? They want to kick the man out of the house, or wherever it is happen. She want to take away the child from the man. Well, again, she want to commit murder and say it right for a woman to commit murder, which is abortion. Abortion is murder. mothers should be put in prison on Mother's Day. That is what should happen. You understand? Who are the sure? 1 John 5 and 3.
Right, Caron Khan. The book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
Right? This is the love of the Most. The Lord's commandment is not grievous, it's not hard, it's easy. What is so hard in not celebrating Mother's Day? What's so hard in not celebrating all those days like Christmas, Father's Day, Valentine's? You know, it's not hard to not celebrate Mother's Day. The Lord's commandments is not grievous. The Lord said he hates those other feast days. The days that he said to celebrate is the day we should celebrate, which we did on April 24th, which was the Passover. The Lord says celebrate that day, the Passover, the day I took you out of Egypt. Right? The Feast of Unleavened Bread. Them is the days the Lord said to celebrate. But why is it so hard for people to not celebrate Mother's Day? Understand? It's because we grew up in a society where the white man controls the earth. And whatever the white man say, we just do.
Right.
That is why it's so hard. So the white man will say, you know, the black woman, she is God. You know, we go on to run with that and believe it. You understand? But the black woman is not God, and Mother's Day is a sin. You understand? Woman don't deserve nothing on Mother's Day. Right? The kind of evilness women has been doing to their husbands, a woman don't deserve nothing on Mother's Day. She should really be put in prison on Mother's Day. That was supposed to happen. So the Lord said to keep his commandment, and his commandments not grievous. You understand? All the feast days is straight in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter when you read it through. Leviticus, the 23rd chapter tells you all the days that the Most High said to celebrate. Alright, somebody go hold Ecclesiastes 26 and 7. Ecclesiastes 26 and 7. Alright? For years, the black women have been monsters. Right? They don't need a holiday. They've been murdering babies throughout abortion. Look at it, they treat the black man like rubbish. You understand that? They rather listen to the pastor than to listen to their husband. They want to kick the black man out the door. No, man. Women don't deserve that holiday, and they should really be put in prison for on Mother's Day. They don't deserve that. All the women of them should who saying there's an independent woman and you know raising up children by themselves. They don't need a man and raising up children by themselves. But then they should take responsibility. When the child grows up to be some murderer or thief, you understand, they should take responsibility. If they're saying they don't need a man, you understand? They're saying there's an independent woman. But then all right, but then all they have to take responsibility for all the evils that is going on in the world today. By the children, all of us be raising up. You understand? All that needs to take responsibility for that. Alright, and when they realize that all is at fault and all they had to take responsibility, then you can realize all don't deserve nothing on Mother's Day. Alright, what all they deserve to do is to go in prison on Mother's Day. Alright, so I'm here. Who are the scripture?
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 26 and verse 7. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that had hold of her is as though he held a scorpion.
Right, as though she held a scorpion. So an evil wife, she's always screaming at you. She's always bawling at you, always checking you. She's going to your phone, always telling you what to do. All those kind of things the woman doing. You know, a lot of kids have mothers like that. That is why they never get to meet the father. Right? Because of what the mother does, how she'll treat the father, screaming, bawling at him, going through the phone. A lot of children don't get to meet the father because of that situation. You understand? Because the mother, she's the father away. When the mother do all those things, she end up chasing the father away. You understand? And anytime your father tries to, how to say it, anytime the father tries to correct the woman, she will go and call the police. You understand? So she's screaming at the man, she's bawling at him. You understand? Until she chases him away. Every time the man try to check she and say, what you doing wrong, take your time, and don't try to check she pick up the phone and call the police. And chasing the father away, or making the police come and take him and maybe lock him up or pay him on the house. You understand? Lie on him. All kind of lies she will tell the police just to get him out of the house. You understand? Anytime the father tries to correct the mother, the mother will be like, hey, she will call the police, lie on them, and take him out of the house. Alright? That is an evil wife. Yeah, slack here. Read it over again. Really, yeah. Maka, you read it over again?
Yes, Slack, yeah. All right, can the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26 and verse 7. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion.
As though he has held a scorpion. So, as you're saying, the evil wife now, we know all those sorts of evil things, you know. The father go correct the mother, she will call the police, pay him out the house. You know, the father might try to correct the child. The mother will jump in and defend the child and tell the father, no, you can't correct the child. You understand? That is why they say, you know, the Lord, he made man and woman different. You know, he made man with this heavy, deep voice. So when the child hear that heavy, deep voice now, the child go straighten up and listen. The child ain't really listen to the mother. You understand? Yes, she bring forth the child into the world, but when it, in terms of discipline, that's why the Lord created man and woman differently. He created the man with that bass voice. So when he started to talk, the child will stop and listen. You understand? And listen to what he says. But now when now going on in the house now, the mother jumping in to defend the child now, so that the father won't correct it. You understand? And all those things that's happened. That's why, you know, children just end up the way they end up in jail, end up selling drugs. You know, the girl child might end up on some pool, becoming some whore. You understand? Because the Lord never made a woman to be in charge. You understand? She never made a woman to be in charge. That's why we had this whole place now upside down, the whole black family in a mess. You understand? Because the woman now watching TV, BET and MTV, which is created by black people, even though black people own it. It's white people run it. White people running the show, BET and those stations. You understand? So when they're paying these white people, these black people to act a certain way. When the mother watching it now, she wants to be like that. You understand? So she wants to be in charge now. You know, but the Lord never made her want to be in charge. Right? That is why there's always instruction for the black family. Right? Just like a woman who was given the opportunity to choose. Right? She was never been to charge. They give a woman opportunity to choose, and what she has choose. Right? They give she that opportunity to choose. She will choose abortion. You understand? They can't give her that opportunity to choose at all. But that was she could choose the wrong thing. You understand? A woman could choose to murder that baby in her womb. You understand? They can't give a child an opportunity to choose. And that is just like what the black woman is, or the woman is. They give she the opportunity to choose, and she will be like a child, not choosing the right thing, but rather choosing the wrong thing, choosing to murder. You understand? That is what you're talking about. This one, we was at the verses. Was Ecclesiasticus. Right. So that is the evil, right? The evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro, right? So you're gonna give the child now, just like how you can't give a child something to choose. They're going to end up choosing the wrong thing, right? Right? Just like the woman, she end up choosing to murder the child, right? You give a child to choose what's for dinner. They're always gonna choose what ice cream, cake. They're gonna choose sweets, or fries, chicken. You understand? KFC. Them many things that children go choose, right? Till they get up in the morning and they're sick because so much of snacks and stuff they eat. Right? They can't give a child the opportunity to choose, and that is why you can't give a woman the opportunity to choose or be in charge. She will always choose the wrong thing. You understand? Right? He held a scorpion. Right? So our evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that have hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. What do you mean by that? It's as though he held a scorpion. What do you mean by that? Yeah, go ahead.
So the brother that choose this dragon of a woman, when he and this woman living together, it's only pain because they was spoken of good, singing like my dance and that, with normalcy. But this woman that choose this woman out, right, the pain that's coming along with making bad choices, that's what he's talking about.
The pain that come along with making bad choices.
Yeah. All that ignorance, most of it.
All right, we could go along the lines. We could go along the lines that and see. Anybody else have any? Anybody else? All right. Okay. So. All right. So. All right. So let go back up with the woman and the making the choices. So. You put a woman in charge, she could choose to go to church, even though the pastor does rape and molest kids. Right? You've seen it all over the news. You put the woman in charge, she still chooses to go to church, even though the pastor doing all them evilness. It does be all over the news, all over the internet. You see the pastor raping and molesting, but the woman will still go to church and still send her children to church. Yes, and that's why if you go to church, it would have the choir or have the congregation get molested from the pastor. Right? And the congregation knows this, but it's still going to church. Right? So you can't get a woman that I want to say that power to choose. Right? She will always choose the wrong thing. Right? A scorpion is something that poisonous. Right? A scorpion is something that poisonous. And by you holding it, it will stab you in your hand. A scorpion. Right? It is not sweet. It is not loving. Like how your woman's supposed to be. Right? Not sweet, not loving, like how your woman's supposed to be. So, right? So as it says here, and he that have hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. Right? So this man who is onto this woman now, right? He that have hold onto her is as though as he hold a scorpion. It is not though as if he hold what? teddy bear, you know, something nice and soft, you know. It's as though as if this man is holding a scorpion. She's not nice and sweet. She's not loving. She's poisonous. Right? That is what it's talking about. Right? So she's supposed to be like how to say, you know, you come home from, you know, she said like, baby, how your day was? You know, you want to massage your foot. You know, again, you want to cook some food for you. You understand? That's how she's supposed to be. You understand? Not bawling and yelling all the place. She's supposed to bring comfort and pleasure to a man's life. That's what a woman's supposed to do. Bring comfort and pleasure to a man's life. She's supposed to be bawling down the place and nagging, calling the police and kicking the man out of the house. She's supposed to be doing that. She's supposed to be like a scorpion. Right? She's supposed to be that. You know, you should not have to deal with your woman and how to say, you're supposed to deal with your woman in like fights, like fighting with she back and forth. You're supposed to be dealing with a woman like that, fighting back and forth, you know, or always yelling all the time. You're supposed to be doing that. She yelling at you, you yelling back at she. She don't want to listen to you. She don't want to hear anything that you have to say. That's not pleasant and it's not sweet for a woman to do. The Lord never made a woman to be like that. He never made a woman to be always nagging and bawling at your husband and, you know, yelling. You yelling, she yelling back, you know, or quarreling. The Lord never made a woman to do that, right? And that's why we say Mother's Day is not something that a woman should be giving presents and all kind of things on. But really and truly, she's supposed to be locked up on Mother's Day because of how she just treats she black man and murdering that baby in she womb. That is what's supposed to happen. You understand? It's not pleasant and not sweet for a woman to be treating her man that way.
Right.
Right? Because the same woman who fighting she man every day, right? The same woman who fighting she man every day, who said that she don't need a man to be taken care of, right? This girl that sing the song, All My Single Ladies, which named Beyonce, right? That's the same woman who does be crying every night, right? The same woman who has 1,000 toys that she'll be playing with every night because she don't have no man to go home and comfort. Right? The same woman who saying she's a single woman, she don't need no man to take care of she. She's the same man be crying every night, wishing that she had a man there to comfort she. Alright?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Sha.
And then after sometimes after woman, I know when she have a friend with someone problem with them with the relationship going on with she and the man, she telling the friend to leave the man. I know too. The same thing, the woman with problems, she wants to tell the next woman, hey, leave your man and go put you up with him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the same one who does do that. You know? Like the Lord, he never made a woman to be that way at all.
Right.
The Lord, he never made a woman to be that way, especially to her husband. Alright? The Lord never made life to be like that. You know, the man passes the cement to her, she get her baby, you understand? After she get the baby, she kicks the man out of the house. Why how she kick the man out of the house? Because she's just unpleasant to the man to be around. She's just so unpleasant. Always nagging, bawling, yelling, going through food, just everything unpleasant. The Lord, he didn't make life to be so. As soon as she get present, she chased the man out of the house. And then she raised up the child to be some drug dealer, murderer, some rapist, because you know she didn't have that ways to raise up a child. The man had the genes to raise up the child. Again, going back to the voice, that's why the Lord created the man's voice to be so loud and had that bass in it. So the child, when he hear, he go get frightened, he go listen. You understand? So life wasn't made to be like that. Right? For a woman to be a single mother, nah. The Lord didn't make life to be like that for a woman to be a single mother. Right? But again, we become that way following what the philosophies of Christianity.
Right.
Right? We listen to the pastor. The pastor will say, you have to sign a piece of paper, and then you could live with the man. If you're just having sex with the man and you ain't sign a piece of paper, that is what do they say? That is fornication. And they say you have to leave the man. And so she leaving the man now, end up being a single woman. So by listening to the philosophies of Christianity, that is why everything end up being upside and down, how it is now. Alright, so Rakataya our Sharper Commander GEN.YAHANNA for already keeping on this truth. He kept the laws are the most high. He went to take the scriptures, found men on the streets, taught them the scriptures and so forth and passing on law. That we could really keep the laws of the most high. Tell people like, what we learned was the wrong thing.
Right.
This here is the right thing. You understand? This here is the right thing. All those sisters out there who so lonely. You understand? All of them so lonely now. They say, you know what? What happened to that boy? The sister, the woman so lonely. She going to find another lonely woman. Right? She's so lonely because she didn't have a man. She going to find another lonely woman. Then what she could do? She could dress she up like a man. You understand? Buy her all sorts of toys just to pretend that the woman is a man. You understand? Life wasn't meant to be that way. And it's only Christianity is what making life be that way. Because we're learning the wrong things. You understand? We're teaching them the wrong things. The pastor is some child molester and we still sending the children to church. Alright? But that is also how lonely some sisters is. So lonely they want to get our next woman to dress them up like a man. Right? Just cause a sort of confusion. It's just confusion. Right? Confusion, they're confused. But again, she's a child. She's a child and she's a Christian. So that is why you end up getting all those sorts of evilness and confusion in the world. So celebrate Mother's Day. Now we can't celebrate Mother's Day. The Lord said it is ungodly to celebrate Mother's Day. You understand? And the mothers, they don't deserve nothing on Mother's Day because I how they just treat their husband. You understand? So if really so all of that thing, you go understand now. Woman don't deserve nothing on Mother's Day. Right? And the black man, if you love that black woman, you know what you should do? You shouldn't put that burden on her. Right? You should check her and tell her, hey, this is wrong. You cannot do that and say, yes, this is right. Right? How to say it? There is no I'm grown in the Bible. Right? Every good girl wants a dad. Right? Every good girl wants some father figure. Right? Sisters need this father figure or daddy in their life. Right? Right? How to say another man is supposed to take over the previous daddy duties. Right? just this new man now, he's the one who's going to, you know, produce a child with this girl.
Right.
Right? That's just how it's supposed to be. That's just how the life is. You know, the father taking care of her, raising up all the time now. Time for her to get a next daddy, right? Pass over, she get a man. He live with her, you know, he make children and whatever with her. That's just how it's supposed to be. Right? Not she the pastor telling she stay away from the man, you know, you have to sign a paper first till she ends up staying by herself. She gets so lonely, she look for the next woman, dress up like a man and get the lows, all kind of thing. It's just confusion and evenness. That's what the church bringing up. You understand? The church raising up evenness in our family. Right? Christianity is destroying how the family life is supposed to be. That's what Christianity do. Just destroying it. Right? Who was that now? 8. Yeah, so yeah. Right here, just on Slack. That's all. Yeah, you understand that was just saying already Scorpion, right?
Yeah, that.
Right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, go ahead, Maka.
Reverse it.
Yeah.
All right, come on. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26 and verse 8. A drunken woman and a gara abroad causeth great anger.
Right. So okay. So when I say a drunken woman, what do I mean by that? A drunken woman. What do I mean by that?
So I guess she always
Always
quarreling. Looking for confusion. Looking for fight.
Yeah, I would think that I said there. So she's looking for fight, confusion, you know, she falling all over the place, she loud mouthing everybody. She getting naked, she's stripping off she clothes and getting naked. When people drunk, some people do that. You know, she go bring them 100 man in the house. You know, they're running all over she like some bus station, you know, and her kids seeing that. The kids in the house seeing that every man coming is a different man in the house every night. You understand? She can't be no mother. Right? That would say I'm a drunken woman. She can't be no mother because that is destroying her kids. Right? That's how to say it. That's abuse. And she should not be free to make these choices. But Christianity told her that she could do it. And that's what Christianity told her. Christianity told her she could make choices. But the choices she making is killing her. Right? She getting all kind of AIDS and herpes and she it's evidence she always choosing the wrong man. You know, the evidence right there, she choosing the wrong man. You understand? Because why? Christianity again told her that she is right for making those choices. Right? You know, she always complaining about her relationship with the black man. She always complaining about it. So all her relationship is with the wrong person. And she's still going to have sex with the same man and making children for him. Then after, you know, how she attitude is, kick the man out of the house, wanna send the man to court to take the child away from her. Right? That's how it is. She ain't fit to make that decision. Right? She can't decide of matters with life and death. She can't decide with matters of that. Right? That is why she's so angry all the time. You understand? That is why the black woman is so angry. Because the life she has been making is the wrong life decision she making. Right? That is why she's so angry all the time, because she always making the wrong decisions, she always making the wrong choices. You understand? She needs a man to, how to say, to be Lord over her. That is what the black woman is. She needs a man to be Lord over her. Right? To help she make the right choices, to guide she in the right direction. You understand? Just like how like how we grandmother was, right? Just like how we grandmother was like that, you know. That is why we are here today, you know, because of the great grandparents. Right? Yes. It's like read it over again, Makal.
The book of Ecclesiastes, Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 and verse 8. A drunken woman and a gatherer abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame.
And she will not cover her own shame. Right? So again, as I was saying before, you know how our great grandparents was like that. You know, that is why we are here. That is why we're here now. But now we get a generation of mothers that's in charge. And because of that, because of how the generation that we have now of mothers that's in charge, the mothers murdering the baby, killing the baby. You know, our grandparents, you know, they wasn't murdering the baby. Because why? They had a man that was lord over them, telling them, hey, no, you can't kill that baby. You know, that why grandparents back then had all kind of 13 children and 16 children and things. Now they put the woman in charge, she wants to murder the baby. Right? And it's how to say there is hundreds of thousands of black babies every year. You understand? That's getting murdered. You understand? The female species just murdering black babies. Like that, because the woman is in charge. That is the kind of choice she does make. Right? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Tazo.
The professor, and then advocate for so long, and then leave it out, and then especially to Southern, leave them out, and let's give them complications, let them run free. Knowing that, you know, without somebody then, you know, to be a protection for the borders, what will happen to the obviously make them kind of choices. So we actually, he gave them the freedom to run wild in Super.
You give them the freedom to run wild, yeah. Alright? You give them the freedom to run wild, they run wild now, and this is what ends up happening now in society. Again, Christianity has destroyed our black women. Right? Our Christianity has done it, has destroyed our black women. Rhea. Someone look up Rhea. R-H-E. Right?
So I think that you come back, or you have to come back or something online?
No, online. Yeah, online.
Okay.
I think that is Zeus' mother. I believe him. Rhea. Yeah. I'm online. Right? Women today, they say that, you know, that them is the mother and the father. You understand? Because she thinks she's a god. So the woman today will say, I is the mother and the father. You understand? She thinks in she mind that she's a god. That's why women does say that today. You understand? And again, because she thinking like that, that is why the whole household destroyed. You understand? The whole household destroyed because she's a Christian. Christianity just tell the black woman she's a god. That is how Christianity just do. The whole black family just getting destroyed now because of it. You understand? Who let me know now, have it? Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, this is Greek mythology. These references come from Greek mythology. They're from Rhea was one of the Titans, daughter of Uranus and Gaia. She was the sister and wife of Cronus, also a Titan. She was responsible for the way things flow in the kingdom of Cronus. Her name means that which flows.
Go ahead. That is it?
Yeah, fix the cover.
Look for the part that says she's Zeus mother. I don't know if you could see that.
Alright, okay. So like I said, I see the test, see the real count. Ray and Tolas had 6 children: Hestia, Hades, Demeter, Poseidon, Hera, and Zeus. Cronus, afraid that he would be overthrown by his children, just like he had done with his father, decided to swallow all of them. However, he was tricked by Rhea, who managed to save Zeus from his father. When Zeus grew up, he forced his father to disgorge his siblings and eventually overthrew him.
Right, so the father was going to kill, let me know if I'm correct, right? The father was going to kill the children, and the mother Rhea ended up saving Zeus, correct?
So like I said,
go ahead.
Correct, so, but what he's saying is that Cronus swallowed them up in an attempt to kill them.
Right.
So he swallowed all 6 of them, but Rhea tricked Cronus to not swallow Zeus. So maybe such a mother, I think, as I remember the breakdown, I think it was like Cronus, like Rhea switched Zeus as a baby now, so that he swallowed somebody else.
Right.
When Zeus grew up now, he now push against Cronus and force him to throw back up them, to throw back up all the trade he swallowed before.
Right, I believe she had power rock and cover it up. I believe that was it. So you're thinking that was Zeus.
Right.
And then she had hide Zeus in a cave, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but you could go down the dice that they had it, or Tamo?
Yeah, come on.
Good.
Alright. Rhea's rule. Although Rhea was considered the mother of gods, similarly to Gaia and Cybele, she did not have a strong cult and many followers. She had a temple in Crete, the place in which she said she hid Zeus to save from his father. So she had him in a temple in Crete.
Right.
You know,
yeah, it's a Tamo girl.
Rhea's portrayal in art, she started appearing in the 4th century BC. However, she was often depicted with characteristics similar to those used for Cybele, thus making the 2 goddesses indistinguishable. Rhea was often symbolized as a pair of lions that hold a celestial child.
Right. So basically, what I'm trying to say is Zeus' mother saved him from his evil father. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Right? That's basically what Mother's Day is about. Mother's Day is about how much daddy did not do, how much daddy wasn't there for me to go football, basketball, or whatever. Or how much, in this scenario here, how the mother saved Zeus, the child, from the evil father. And that's basically what it is about. You understand? But Mother's Day again is something evil, is some satanic. We should not celebrate Mother's Day because the Lord said not to celebrate those days. So when you really watch it, the woman is the evil one. How she has treated her husband, how she has murdered her baby, and say the right to have an abortion. Abortion is murder. Murder is an unjust killing. You understand? And murder is wrong. She should not have no abortion. You understand? Somebody gave me Colossians 2 and 8. This question. Right. Also, to Mother's Day is just about money. Right? That's because people know that women love things on Mother's Day. Women love this, they love shiny things, they love chocolate, they love all sorts of things. So just a marketing way for them to make money.
Right.
And so the woman, because the woman will say, all right, you ain't bring me that on holidays, you ain't getting nothing tonight. So the man will try to go outside now and buy all this and buy that. Just to please the woman. Right? So Mother's Day is just about making money. Right? And it's an evil holiday too. Colossians 2 and 8, right? Who have it?
The book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you philosophy and vain deceit.
Right, so beware, the scripture saying, right? Before any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, right? There's a lot of deception out here. Right? There's a lot of philosophies out there that we don't know and we follow in our faith. Right? Just like what we just read there with Rhea and Zeus, you know, and she saved him from the evil father. A lot of vain deceit, a lot of philosophies that we don't even know that we follow. You understand? Mother says have nothing to do with God, it's nothing to do with the Bible.
Right.
It's just a vain deceit. And philosophies are them other nations that the Lord said not to follow. That's what it is about. All right, go ahead.
After the tradition of men.
All right, after the tradition of men. Is men what created those vain deceits and philosophy? Not holy men, just ordinary men who in the world, who doing evilness, men who's not at the Most High, you know, men who's drug dealers and pedophiles. You know, after the tradition of men, that the scriptures say, though, beware, lest any man spoil through vain philosophy and deceit. Right? Through vain deceit and philosophy, right? After the tradition of men. Right? Those things are the tradition of men, not the tradition of the Most High. Right? If you used to follow the tradition of the Most High, they would have been following the Passover, which was April 24th. You know, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, where the first fruits coming up. Them is the thing that they would have been following to the tradition of the Most High, but the scripture says, I don't follow the tradition of men. Follow the tradition of the Most High. Right, I'm here. Continue.
Can. After the rudiments of the world.
Right.
And not after Christ.
Right. After the rudiments of the world. What is that they're talking about? What is that? Rudiments. You can look it up. You want to know.
So like I said, I have here. This is just on Google. I don't know if this will be sufficient if I don't know somebody have a dictionary on them, but I have here a basic principle or element or a fundamental skill usually used in plural, teaching themselves the rudiments of rational government. Something uniformed or developed, beginning usually.
I'm reading it again.
A basic principle or element of or a fundamental skill.
Right. So a basic. What is it?
A basic principle.
Right. A basic principle.
Or element. Or a fundamental skill.
Right. A basic principle or element or fundamental skill. Right. So after the rudiments of the world. Right. So the world will teach you that, right? How to say it? Okay, so years you're growing up hearing about Christmas, years you're growing up hearing about Mother's Day or Father's Day, right? That's what the world teaches us. So that becomes something basic, something, you know, it's like a basic thing in life for us to do now, right? Because that's what we grew up learning. Something it becomes so normal, something basic in life. Skill element in life, you know, that we have to do. It becomes so normal, so basic, simple. Because we grew up learning it, right? So after the rudiments of the world, right, is what we grew up learning, right, and not after Christ, right? Because again, we don't grow up learning the the things that Christ said to do.
Right, can.
Right, so it's only now we grow up, we hear the truth. It's only now we hear the truth about Christ. You understand? So that now for some people it will become hard because so much of years they're growing up here now what the immaculate conception is truth.
Right. So like yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I have a definition here kind of similar to what you say there, right? They from the Webster Merriam dictionary, right? Something unformed or undeveloped. Right? That is basically it.
Right, something unformed or undeveloped. Yeah. It's basically where it is, you know. We don't learn the traditions of Christ. We learn after the world.
Right.
Right? We learn after the rudiments of the world telling me what? Celebrate Thanksgiving, and celebrate Mother's Day, celebrate Father's Day, New Year's Day. No, that's what the world teaching us, right? Teaching us to be anti-Christ. That's what the world teaching us. You understand? So growing up now in life, we finally hear the right thing now. To most people, right? To most people, it will be hard to get rid of the old person and follow Christ.
Right.
And that even went on in the scriptures too, with the mixed multitude. You know, when the mixed multitude come out, even though that the seed works at the Most High, they still was in love with what they learned in Egypt. They still was in love with the pork and the crab and the shrimp. And they still was in love with the rudiments of Egypt. They still was in love with it, even though they're seeing all the miracles that the Most High did. And they were still in love with all the idolatry. And all the evenness the Egyptians used to do, cut the skin for the dead, somebody dead in the family member, whoever, and they cut the flesh. And they used to mark their head, used to ball their head. And all those things they were still in love with. Right? But not after Christ. Mark 7:7. Yeah, somebody give me Mark 7:7. Mark chapter 7, verse 7.
Mark chapter 7, verse 7. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
Right? Howbeit do in vain, right? Teaching the commandments of men. Right? Again, the same thing, the commandments of men, celebrating all these days that the Lord said not to celebrate. Right? That is the commandments of men. Commandments of men again is being against the Most High. So the commandments of men will be it is okay to be homosexual. Right? That's the commandments of men. Right now they're trying to push pedophilia. Right? That's against the Most High. Right? But that is basically what they're saying there, right? They're going against the Most High to teach the commandments of men. It's more in that sermon, Sha?
It have when it goes down, verse 8.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Mark chapter 7, verse 8. For laying aside the commandment of the Most High, you hold the tradition of men as the washing of and many other such like things you do.
Right? For laying aside the commandments of the Most High. You understand? They're holding the tradition of men, you know, as washing of pots and cups and other such like things like you do. So the tradition of men, that's the next thing. Okay, when somebody sneezes, I believe they say bless you. All those things is tradition of men. That is what they're speaking about here. Another thing, what again did they say, besides I bless you? it's how all these things that they see. You know, that they might put their hand like a twist it around, you know, pin behind the back. All those things is tradition of men. So if we end up forgetting most time now, following the tradition of men, putting out a horseshoe in front of the door, saying now keep away spirits, right? Or putting beads in front of the house. Yeah, walk inside back to front when they reach home.
Right.
Right, all that is the tradition of men. Right? You know, what? Yeah, what? Sorry, that's
like that one next one. Do it from the pot. Bring the pot. Bring the pot and go with it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greg, Tango.
Just the other day, I wanted to see who said, but somebody tell my relative of mine, say if he handled it, if they handle it apart, it doesn't mean you fight. You end up fighting all the time, so
Right. Right, so that's the tradition of men.
right.
So they say, well, if you hand somebody pepper, you just fight all the time.
Yeah, it's like you fight all the time. Yo.
Right?
So like I said, just this weekend also I passing right by some virgins and things, so they're talking and things, right? That's it. Well, that's why I want to make woman stronger, right? But I not taking that supplement, so I talking. Yeah, the next thing is the woman can take more pain than man because a woman make a child. The boy we can take the pain with them went to. I think well we not to make you try to justify a woman by a woman making a child and justify that we could them can take more pain than we. I think that well you just making a woman that's stronger than you. I think you want to see a woman stronger than you, but good for you by not saying that.
I mean so. But both man and woman does go through pain, but so what? Because she make a child means she does go through more pain. I mean, okay. So what is okay? So let me say, all right. So what if she does go through more pain? What I'm saying, she's supposed to be in charge. What are really trying to say? What are really trying to say?
But they say that woman, they think that woman, like when they check that pregnancy and right, they think woman that men can go through pain like women.
So because of that, what she's supposed to be in charge because of that.
So but the only thing is like they use it like always like use it to push that that woman and them like when coming to when them can handle more, them can handle pressure more than we kind of thing. They're using that and see that women now because of that thing, the woman can handle more pressure than we because that I telling them like, hey, that just you just trying to take that pregnancy you just trying to take that pregnancy thing and making it something that it's not what you call it proper. I just remove I just take a woman to make a baby. Yeah. Right? And you taking this now and trying to justify this that a woman could go through more things than a man. And then when coming to faith. That's well better you go and take the woman and she go and fight war.
Yeah.
And then let me still man and we deal with the children again. And then you tell me now I'm going too far with it.
Nah, because you might be seeing you're on point. I'm why you saying going too far. You understand? There's things that woman was made to do, there's things a man was made to do. Right? So bodies was treated differently because two of us was made to do different things. You understand? Yeah, I'm talking about word.
So like this, I think about that discussion is usually it is go along the lines of a very carnal discussion. Anytime I hear they talking about equality of men and women, so on, the woman is always looking for some reason to justify why she can have another man too, or why a man should only have one woman, because it became a pain that we just put them through. They if they was to do the same thing, we could take it and not get a garbage. So they try to say that. And they take the most amount of pain in childbearing. So you equate that to, they could give people the same pain if they wanted to. That is a very low conversation I hear a couple of times with regards to men and women's strengths.
Yeah. No, they just using child. So childbearing alone is the only thing that they could say. Mothers go through a lot of stress, right? Mothers go through a lot of stress, right? And on top of that, while he going start to defend the woman and children, going through all those sorts of stress. But again, the man and the woman was made to do different things. Right? There's things that a woman was made to do, there's things that a man was made to do. But in the day, the Lord say the man is in charge. Who was going to say something? Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, and then after them men and them going up in their feelings with but these two songs are also to back their mama and Sister Kalanti, thank you mama. And also tell they're going up in their feelings and also when coming to that same thing when they tell them when coming back to that they're not esteeming women above men and they can't find another woman, you can't find another you can't find another mother and all these things and that's they use and all these songs and also the same way and also.
Yeah, that's just Christianity again. You understand? That's why everybody just watch Mary instead of Joseph, because Christianity just push Mary instead of push Joseph. And if Christ wasn't born from the seed of Joseph, he would not be Christ. You understand? So the man is the one who's supposed to be in charge and is the man who has the authority. So the church now going up pushing Mary now because they feel the woman how all these seed because why she make the child. Right, as girls always talk about how to say the farmer who plants the seed. You know, you see, he plant the apple seed in the ground. You understand? So the earth now will come like the woman. Alright, so the farmer planting the seed in the ground now. You know, the earth, which is the woman, going to nurture it, take care of it in the womb. The earth, the woman's baby come like the incubator. Right? Something that will take care of the baby in an undeveloped state until it get grow and get big.
Right.
Right? There's like an incubator now. So when the child come up now, go forth. You understand? It's really the man's child. You understand? It's the man will plant the seed. If it's an apple seed he plant, there's an apple seed will come out, even though it's the woman nurture it. You understand? It's still the man will plant it. So people don't really give the man they don't watch the man as he will bring forth. That's what the woman because she, push all the child. Yes, she went through pain, but they're only watching that aspect alone. Right? That's why the church already talk about Joseph, because we talk about Mary. All the seed. Right? So that they will push the woman to say, you take charge, woman. You have all the seed. If you want to murder that baby in the belly, you go ahead and murder it. You understand? And don't listen to to your husband. Listen to the pastor. Listen to what he has to say. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Just as you're bringing out that, or King said it best as well. Who's your mother? Who's your father? And again, we must commend the mothers and them in the I.S.U.P.K. and I mean commend them, for standing beside their husband in the truth. And on Command General F.Yana, raising up these daughters and them.
Yeah, the only righteous woman, or virtuous woman you have it in the I.S.U.P.K, of course. Right? We don't have no other virtuous woman other than that. If they're not in the I.S.U.P.K, there's not a virtuous woman. They're in the world and there's some evil woman. Right? So right. Okay, give me the last scripture, Exodus 20 and 1. Right?
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 1. And the Most High spake all these words, saying,
Go ahead.
I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Right? So the Most High is saying, hey, I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Right? Go ahead.
Thou shalt have no other powers before me.
Right? You shall have no other powers or gods before me.
Right.
Right? So we're putting up okay, so in this context here, celebrating Mother's Day is like celebrating a god, right? Or warrior, right? Or all sorts of gods. Celebrating them. Christmas is about celebrating Nimrod, the god Nimrod. All those holidays is about celebrating other gods, celebrating other powers. Putting up a horseshoe in your house is believing in another god or believing in another power. Right? You believe a horseshoe could protect you from spirits or wherever it is you're frightened, when it's only the Most High alone. What could protect you? Yes, and so the Lord said, don't have no other gods before him. Don't believe in no horseshoe and say that have power. Don't believe in walking in the house back to front is a power. Right? You just believe in the Most High. Right? Believe in him. Celebrate the days he said to celebrate. And if the Most High said do not celebrate Mother's Day, then do not celebrate Mother's Day. Alright, so anybody any questions? Anybody any questions?
No.
Alright.
So I guess before even your purpose up and all right. Even though when you're coming back to the Christianity, I mean I know too is the gaining woman powers and also like where you see like the Christian church and when they go and get married, men just actually go down on their knees, right, and ask the woman to marry them when you're ready should be when you're certain actually go wrong. That's a woman going down on the knees and telling the man to marry them, and of course the good idea they are on Facebook. I bought when I see that. I thought well the police really could not read a house. This man now going on it's an engagement party, but nobody didn't know it was an engagement party, so it's just like a party going on and things. So the police now come in the scene now and say, well, who in charge of this house? So the man jump up and see in charge, so the police come around looking what kind of thing now. When they check now, they open a cooler, and they open the cooler. The cooler now, they find cocaine. So I said, but wait, but this thing really serious here, but there's a bus going on here. Then when I go on thing now, so the cut the cocaine now. So the man right in now, when they cut the cocaine, the police now and say, well, yeah, you're going down. When the man thing now, say, I think it's right, this is yours. When the man who the cocaine bag now, a ring inside the cocaine bag, and where the woman right there. And with all that thing, he going down on his knees. From that whole scene, so they bring the whole police chair and the big police service in the whole scene, everything, and going down on his knees and marry the and say, ask your man, will you marry me? Sorry, that woman didn't say no.
Yeah.
Like because I police just was bowing down to the woman,
Yeah, so all I did, we celebrating those days, we making such a glorious day over those pagan festival or pagan holidays. When we really and truly supposed to be making a glorious day over, Passover, the Feast of First Fruits.
right?
And all the holidays that the Lord said to celebrate, those are the days He's supposed to be making a nice celebration, a nice, meal where everybody could come and have a good time.
Right.
But we're doing it for the wrong things. And that's what the Lord says He hates those days. And that's why we always end up being in hell over and over. One person sin, the whole nation just in hell,
Right.
have it hard until Christ returns. All right, with that, let's pass the class over to Prison Officer Tazo.
Right. Security announcements. We had I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street. New under commanding General Yahanna. New rules, brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. Means 10 in Hebrew, and it's pronounced by I.S.U.P.K, 10% of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the church, you depart from the teacher. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. The next time I will give a church, right? Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation is the Feast of First Fruits, the last year. We won't be here for 1 second, Convocation. We'll just get the information real quick. Alright, so I guess so. Scripture. Alright, 22nd of June, 23. A little bit further up from, let's say, about 7, 8, somewhere around there, going up. A couple of verses there. So, like again, we apologize, right? So, we want to remind Akim to what I word, right? To what I appreciate. Right? The scriptures, you can find this in Leviticus chapter 23, verses 10 to 22, right? And sundown Saturday, which means when the sun set, basically in the sky, right? Saturday, April 20. Oh, no, this time, the wrong thing, but I think it's June 22nd. Yeah, I can't remember. Right? June 22nd, right? Remind Akim, right, which means brothers, and Aquatel, which means sisters, to check on I.S.U.P.K. Check on social media such as ISUPK.com, the website, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, wherever we are, for I.S.U.P.K events and materials, right? If a brother wants to be a trooper, you want to start to do this work as well and join the family and push it, right? Then you start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirts, like pants, like headband or scarf, and with that, beside imagine, upon your kodam, I got use this. That's so good. Come on, tell. All right. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew first. Abanaw, Shabbat Shemaya, Kodash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwata, Sabah, Atazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Ba'arat, Hawa, Ayah, Shemaya, Temanaw, Bakam, Ka, Yawam, Masalak Nanaw, Kabwatnaw, Kasalatnaw, Kabwatnaw, Balaa, Tabayaynaw, Sayawas, Abal, Awshaynaw, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Aka, Malakwa, Baal, Atapara, Iwalami, Amam.
In English, what he said was, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. How thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. We forgive our debtors.
We forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever.
So be it. All right. This blessings in Hebrew first. Rakatay Hawa. Wayawsha. Makal. Wa Alai. Patazabya. Alawapihan. Alawapian. Asranian. Aquatizanium. Akielidum. Aquatian. Yahweh. Hashem. Yahushai. Warama.
In English, what we said was, Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushai. And Michael. And the angel. And the general. Captain. Officer. Troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. All right. This is the Hakam, the prayer for the power in the Hebrew first. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. Babukasha. Tananaw. Aka. Rabah. Akal Makala. Akal Manawa. Aka. Ataha. Amatazariam. Aka. Akoyam. Amatiam. Aka. Arakwa. Atamal. Nagarshan. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. Waraman. What we said in English was Yahweh, the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power to heal, all manner of sickness, all manner of disease, power to cleanse the leper, power to raise the dead, power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it. the I.S.U.P.K curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and
King of heaven and
and all things
and all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Evils and curses.
And punishment and
Punishment and
destruction.
destruction.
To the heathen.
The heathen.
That speak against us.
Speak against us.
Thy prophets.
The prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
Princes.
Princes.
Priests. The Israelite brothers. And
And
the school. Send evils and curses.
evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
The heathen.
And shake loose.
And shake loose.
The church of the rich of Israel.
Church of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
Refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into like sanctuary.
To enter into like sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
The Edomites.
And the nation.
And the nation.
And the drug dealers.
And the drug dealers.
The court system.
Court system.
The prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the government of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
Islam.
Christianity. Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Cozy Comitazi. Gay movement. Lesbian movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. NASA Space Program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines. Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airwaves. Cable access channel. And the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh, Michael, Gabriel come down with the flying sword and punish all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word, because it will be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. For it to be spread throughout the media, throughout the whole world, cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you always. So be it.
All right, let's pray to bless Israel in the Hebrew first. Yahweh. Hashem. Yahweh. Brooklyn now. I.S.U.P.K. Abiyah. Safari. Barak. Papa. Magun.
Crystal and Tishika. Kwasi and Kobe. All the brothers and sisters that fighting to recover from COVID-19 in the school.
All the brothers and sisters fighting to recover from COVID-19 in the school.
All the brothers and sisters fighting to come into the truth.
All the brothers and sisters fighting to come into the truth.
And all the brothers and sisters in the truth.
All the brothers and sisters in the truth.
Commander General YAHANNA. Generals, captains, officers, troopers, sisters, children, destroyed of Israel. Brothers and sisters fighting to come to the truth.
Brothers and sisters fighting to come to the truth.
All 12 tribes of the nation of Israel.
All 12 tribes of the nation of Israel.
I.S.U.P.K worldwide and their families.
I.S.U.P.K worldwide and their families.
I.S.U.P.K trying to be on their families.
I.S.U.P.K trying to be on their families.
My teacher.
Tamar.
Commanding General
General, captain, officers, troopers, sisters, children, all the destroyed of Israel. Iona, Rapash, Sharai, Kinti and family, Hosna family, Koda family, Philip family,
Commanding General YAHANNA. All the generals, all the captains, all the officers, all the troopers, all the students, all the sisters, Shamka, Haya, Para.
Commanding General, generals, captains, officers, troopers, sisters, students, children, brothers and sisters fighting the community truth. So go on. Busby family. All brothers, all the destroyed of Israel. I must say upon all our families. Next one. All brothers and sisters, all brothers and sisters fighting the community truth. Children being in the I.S.U.P.K. Wrong family. Zion, Wesleyan, Daniela, Ashida, Trisha, Chantel, Violet, Ima, Khadija.
All the brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K.
All the brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K.
My brothers and sisters, I.S.U.P.K Global.
My brothers and sisters, I.S.U.P.K Global.
Alicia,
Aliyah, Teresa, Joyce,
Natural.
Bashim Yahushai, Tawada.
Right, what we said was, Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us, and Israel, and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect all of us. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
Sir, Mr. Turn, I'm not visually going to give the teacher one for this salute. I'm not visually like Matchim Shabbat. I match him, rock. How about Shimon Shabbat? Yajimata, sir, give the sisters online for this salute. I'm not visually like Matchim Shabbat. I match him, rock. Yahweh Shemala Tamba, Shimon Shabbat. Yajimata, dismiss. Yes, sir.
Shalom Yahushua. Shalom Yahushua.